Please subscribe to help you and your motorcycle perform better.
My name is Dave Moss. I tune approximately 3,500 bikes per year. This is 2 Clicks Out.
Now steal the microphone master.
Do you know what weight fork oil you used? 20. Okay, good. Feet up, grab the bars. So, 30 mil. $10, off you get. $35 in the back. So we've got way too much static shag. One. Okay. All right. How old's this fork oil?
Like 6 months.
Okay. How many miles in 6 months?
Almost 2,000.
Okay. So right now, it's just starting to go over the top. And you got that second bounce. So going into the corner, it's going to dip and wobble. You're not using a whole lot of travel. So you've got way too much preload in here. So the front end won't turn either because it's so stiff.
Okay.
No Pirellis over there.
It's got none left. Okay. Now with all that spring tension removed, there's no wobble, right? But at this point, usually between 2,000 and 3,000 miles, that 20 weight oil needs to be replaced.
Okay.
And that's easy, right? You tip it out and you put the fresh oil in. So that'll get you through this afternoon. Are you riding tomorrow?
No.
Okay. So then before your next track day, changing that oil is imperative.
Okay.
Okay? What weight did you use? 15 or 20?
Neither. I think I did.
Okay, so it's better than 10.
It has emulators in it, so I was told run between 10 and 15.
Yeah. That's your first problem.
What?
That.
What's happening?
Oil's too thin or preload's too high
Okay.
or both.
I've been messing with the preload, so it may very well be the preload.
So if that's the case, we can, because we know you're only using this much travel, take out some preload, and that stored energy in the spring is diminished, which will be very helpful. Then on the back of the bike, rebound's really slow. So you're sitting here and the front's doing this.
Yeah.
So that's all fixable. Okay. We are at half one, 1 1/4, so half. 1 1/2. Not enough. 1 3/4.
Is it normal for that shock to not have clicks?
Yes,
Okay.
that's better.
If I have an unknown amount of miles, but at least 20,000, should I get it rebuilt?
3 1/2, 4. Yes.
Okay.
Shock rebuilds are every 10.
Okay.
So half 1, half 2, half 3 from 4 turns. So static sag is tight here. It's not a whole lot of it. So preload spacer length might be 3 to 4 millimeters too long.
Too long? Okay. They're PVC, so I can just cut off that much. Okay.
And that will be extremely helpful for the street.
Okay. I think I did Maxima.
Yeah, but you 12.5, you mixed it.
I mixed, yeah.
Okay. To get that, you want 70% of the heavier oil. Did you do 70%
Yes.
of the lighter oil?
I did 70% of the heavier oil.
Okay, good.
I think it might be my last track day, if not for many years, for good.
Okay. Hopefully not, but we'll see. See, it doesn't pogo now. We took the tension out of it. I can feel the spring tension in there, so cutting that PVC spacer down will make all the difference in the world.
Just 3 millimeters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have Andriani cartridges in the front, and then in the rear we have a ZX9 shock that's been transplanted in place of the stock shock. All right, feet up for me, and then grab the bar so your weight is even. That way, when you sit on it, we're measuring it correctly. So that is exactly 100. Yeah, the back of the bike doesn't want to come up at all. Okay, so 40. Go ahead and dismount. I'm clear. 70. So the setting for your body weight in the back is excellent. What we're seeing by the cable tie, and with you off the bike, 95 millimeters of travel out of 110. So the front's softer than the shock, hence you using all this travel.
Yeah.
So when you're braking, and this is a heavy braking track, we're already consuming 90% of the travel we've got. So the front end needs to be stiffer.
Okay.
The other part is, if you watch the back of the bike, it doesn't want to come back. So every time you're trying to exit the corner, you're going that way, not this way. And then let's see fork rebound and check where that is. That's fork rebound's good. All right. So compression, half, 1. So we need quite a bit of preload in here. All right, half, 1, and 1/4 on compression. Can we get in there? Yes. 1, 2, and 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So our rebound screws right there. Do you know if the shock was ever serviced?
I do not know, no.
Okay, so rebound is closed.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go half, 1, and 1/2 out. Much nicer.
Okay.
See, not. One, 2, 2.5, 3, and you had 0 compression at all. So we're going to set that at 1.5. Okay. So when you accelerate, it's just and sit.
So on the, is it 3 turns on that too?
4.
4.
Yes, sir.
So you have it set
1
beyond
1/4.
that, right? So it's
Yeah. We're more towards maximum.
okay.
And at that point, when you accelerate, it doesn't tip. And then sit.
Yeah.
So
this is my first time at the track, so this was our second session. I was like,
welcome.
Okay, yeah, I got it. I heard you talk, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see that guy.
Yeah. So at this point, you couldn't get out of a corner accurately. When you were braking, you're going through a lot of travel.
Yeah.
So you're basically doing this on the bike.
Yeah.
To get rid of that, this is your baseline.
Okay.
At this point, what you'll experience, I need you to do 4 laps
Okay.
at 75, 80%. and just calibrate to what we have.
Okay.
Learn it, feel it, because it's going to be much more precise, and you'll turn for the corner
Okay.
about 50 yards too soon.
Okay. Well, I'm still learning the track anyway. So.
Which is perfect. So the timing of this is great because so go configure where you need to turn. And what you'll find is as you roll on the throttle, the line will tighten, it won't widen. And you'll go, what? But because your bike was set like that, you had no chance of finishing a corner.
This is great. Really,
So,
thank you very much.
you're all set. Fork transplant,
GSXR 600,
okay, 04,
05,
05, okay, and then a GSXR Shock,
yeah, 1000.
06 or 08?
Don't remember, actually.
06, okay. How many miles are on the bike now?
About 15,000.
And when was the last fork and the shock oil service?
Probably about 10,000 miles.
Okay, so we're at the end of the lifespan.
Okay.
All right. Which group are you riding in?
B minus.
And how many times have you ridden here?
This is probably my 6th.
Okay, so you know where you're going.
Yeah, but it's been a long time. I haven't been here
Okay.
in 5 years. I haven't been any track in 5 years. So.
Okay, what tire pressure did you start with?
32 rear and 27 front.
Okay. These are probably the softest carcass tires on the planet. A Kleenex tissue probably has more strength. So your minimum starting pressure is actually 32 front and rear.
Oh, okay.
You're already getting balls of rubber on the back of the tread, which says the tire's overheating,
Okay.
given the pace you're running with the track temperature as is currently. So we're going up. Yeah, and you'll get faster as you get more comfortable and start feeling the rhythm because you'll carry more momentum. So, are the internals of the shocks and the forks stock?
Yep.
Okay. 2CTs, awesome street tires, but they really get hot on the track. So, go ahead, grab the bars for me. So you already bottomed the front out, so that's why you're here, I take it. So you're at 45 millimeters in the front, so that's why. You want for the track's 30 to 40, so you're already massively too soft. And the shock compression's soft. 60. Okay, dismount, I'm clear. So, stiff on the spring, 20. But you have static, which will get you to 30. So at 30 and 45, the front is doing all the work. We don't have a whole lot of preload left, and we need to see where your compression damping is, structural support versus hydraulic, and see if we can get it to a point where you can brake well and within your capability without bottoming. Six and a half, 3, 5, oops, yep, 1, 2, 3. At least they're even now. Very nicely set on rebound. Let's just make sure they're even. Half a turn, yep. So that will suggest with just half a turn left, a fork oil change will be soon. And then on compression, you're at 1.5 and we're going to go to 3/4. So if at this point, if you bury it again, you're going to be doing the right thing with a 650, which is increase your corner speed by braking less. So we can turn an adverse situation into a positive. So on the back of the bike, rebound's jumping up, but it's blowing through the stroke on compression. So we're at 10, 6, 10, to 7 on Rebound. Much better. So now it's nice and even. Okay. So tire pressure. Put 3 in the front and 1 in the rear, and go straight to Dunlop and do that as soon as you can.
Okay. +3, +1.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Then I need the bike back, middle of the session.
Okay.
5 laps, come back to me. We've got to make sure you're safe, and I could have gone too far, which would be good. I can back you off a little bit. So at that point, we'll give you something you can work with, and then by 1 o'clock, we'll see if you need it stiffer again.
Okay.
All right?
Great. 5 laps.
5 laps. So we're still pretty close to the bottom.
Yep.
How hard did you brake up in turn 9? Pretty hard?
Pretty hard, yeah.
Now ride perfectly normally for the rest of the session and finish the session. And let's see where you come back in.
All right.
Go for it.
How much time do we have left, you know?
Red flag.
All right.
None. So on this next session, run the whole session and come back.
Okay.
And then we'll see where you are riding normally, and hopefully we're too stiff.
Okay.
Because then you can do what you want with braking, because we've got plenty of room.
All right.
That makes sense?
So by normally you mean?
Just ride your session, ride your pace, ride as fast as you want to ride,
All right.
consistently. Erratic behavior because you're coming into people too fast, if that's how you ride. We just need to make sure that in a situation, if a bike is going down in front of you and you brake, you don't bottom and crash and join them.
Okay.
So, have fun.
Yeah, I'm not taking it to people. I'm being honest.
All right. So we'll see you at the end of the next run.
All right, perfect.
Thank you. So that's consistent riding. Excellent.
Okay, excellent. I'll take that.
Yeah. So your rule of thumb is your minimum is 15 because you have to have a buffer because of reaction time and braking force.
Okay.
So we have plenty of room there. So as far as travel goes, you're fine. So if some crisis occurs in front of you, you can observe, brake, steer, and not bottom out.
Okay.
That's the whole point. Pressure in the front is now too low. Lots of balls of rubber on the tread pattern itself, so we need to go up 2 more in the front from what it is now. The rear tire is wearing beautifully on the hot side and sufficiently less beautiful on the cold side of the tire for obvious reasons. You're much more happy going to the right through the fast sections of the track than you are turning left than you are on the slower sections on the right, because you're coasting up to here. That's what all that debris is.
Yeah.
So
Far more comfortable left turns.
and you're much more comfortable at speed. Actually, your throttle response and your behavior with the bike at speed is very good going left. So slow technical corners are not what you're looking for, nor are any of us at that matter. So the unpopular wear on the side visual is just a result of riding, not pressure. So tire pressure on the rear is fine.
Okay.
So just 2 in the front and you'll be good to go.
That's it.
Yep. With a GSXR front end off a 600 750?
750.
750. What year?
06.
06, so the stiffer forks, so that's good. Stock rear wheel, yes, no.
180 rears.
Yeah, so you up the... Did you use a GSXR rear wheel?
Yes.
And what year GSXR shock?
No, the shock is off
Is it a Cowie?
Cowie shock.
Yeah, there we go. That was a good guess then. Okay, so we've got 04 Gixxer front end on it.
Yeah.
And then we have a Penske in the rear. You're running the 180 rear?
Yeah.
All right.
Put it in his forks.
Race Tech valves and springs in the front, Penske rear.
Pay 5,000.
Oh, the year?
85,000 forks. Thank
So, GSXR 2005. Translated.
Sometimes it's like pulling teeth.
We'll got there in the end. We'll got there in the end. It's all right.
After all this time, sure, you should know. All right, so an 08 GSXR 600, 750?
No, 1,000.
08 GXR, okay.
1,000 front end.
All right.
It's been valved by Ohlins already.
Do you know what the spring rate is?
I don't know the rate, but it was set for a 180-pound rider. ZX10 rear end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the year. I don't remember that.
Shock and front are brand new.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Where'd you find a 25 mil kit?
A racer friend from San Francisco, and he took it off his Gicture 750, and I was like, hey, that fits in my
How
foot.
you doing?
I was like,
So you did the whole swap on the triples?
right,
Everything?
everything. Right.
Okay. How much time is on the suspension itself since the installation?
Oh,
Nothing.
nothing. The shock had a little bit more. The shock was on for like maybe 2 weeks prior. A little bit of street riding, but whatever.
So this is a second gen SV650. The rear wheel has been changed to a 600/750 rear wheel, so you can see 180/60 on the tire. So it's a common conversion to get basically more grip. It really slows down the turning of the bike and doesn't make it as fun to ride, in my humble opinion, because I've had this bike and tried both ways. The 165 is a better combination. Just put a GSXR 600 front end on complete, including triple clamps, forks, fork adjuster caps, and Ohlins 25mm cartridges. So that's got to get dialed in. These standard forks came with these extended caps because the forks, when you transplant, are usually shorter. So geometry-wise, you need to bring it up past the fork caps. So that's why these extenders are on. So form over function, in this case, that allows us to raise the front to wherever we need it to be for this rider, versus leaving the front completely flush and then not having enough rake and trail. The hard part for me is that this tire is worn out. The lower carcass is starting to show through here. It's also got a little hole in it, so this might blister really quickly. Plus the flat spot is that wide. It's huge. So he's not going to be able to turn, he's not going to be able to change his line, he's just going to be able to fall over and lock in. In shock ride height, he's all the way at the bottom, which makes sense because it's a bigger tire. So we'll see where we need to go once the riders meeting ends. All right, so we're 70 on the back. That's just the fork scraping on the inside, so there's nothing to worry about there. 90 to 130, so you're at 40 mil. The sag in the back is 25, but you don't have any static. There's nothing here to pick up. So we can afford to soften the shock a little bit. Now with the fork position, that's just where you put them?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how they're stuck in the world.
Did you measure the stock against these? Oh, we can't. We got nothing left on the adjuster. It's all the way to the top. All right. There are no threads showing.
Does that mean the spring is too stiff?
No. The spring may be too long, not too stiff. The sag numbers are in the ballpark. It's just got no static at the moment, and that would lean towards, if there's no static, potentially the spring's too soft. And we can't see the number on it.
The spring is too soft.
If you crank it down and lose all the static sag to get the right sag number, the spring's too soft. Can't see the number. Let's see. Oh, it's a 9.5. So a 9. Well, we'll see how you get on. Because if the spring's the right rate,
travel will be optimal. Based on that being optimal, then the spring's just slightly too long. So that's not an uncommon problem with these bikes. All right, so 1, 2, 3, come on, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, max, so it's 8. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we'll start at 10. Rebound's way too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 13, so we'll go to 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. 10, perfect. That zip tie was all the way down. Was that from your last ride? It was, okay. 1, 3. So we'll go to 11 and a half. Okay. Rebound looks nice and slow with cold oil. 9. 10. And compression. 8. 8. Okay. All right, so we'll start there. SC2 rear, so are you using warmers? So those come off the warmers at 25.
34 front.
And 34 front will be good. All right, and then as soon as you're done with your session, rolling up with it hot, and let's see how the oil changed after 20 minutes in temperature. All right, you're good to go. So we're running into tire pressure being too high here with all the debris, and it's actually starting to ball up and clean the tire off. On the hot side of the tire, it's already starting to take all the debris and do the same thing, but they're aggregates. They're families of balls or clusters. So as far as tire pressure goes for this morning, that's...
Too high?
No, it's fine.
That's fine, okay.
Because you get the tire's cleaning itself into balls. If you had some balls here and nothing there, it would be too high. It'd be way too high. So, with a hot shock, that's not jumping. So the first test is to get the bike balanced.
That's like a rebound a little too fast.
So if it was fast, it would drop into a second stroke. It doesn't. So let's slow rebound down a little bit and see after 4 laps, do you get the bike turning more precisely and easier to get to apex? Okay. If for you that works, then yes. So we'll add 1 more click of rebound. Now on the positive read of going out, you're already close to the bottom. So we need more preload right away. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Because you're at 8 out in compression, I don't want to make compression stiffer because that might enlarge the bumps and make them bigger. So let's see where we get to on the spring. I'm frightening himself.
It works fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic. The only complaint I got, 6, 7, it feels like the rear wants to come out. But everything else feels so awesome.
Do you have to get out of the throttle?
A little bit. It feels like a sliding a little bit. I'm on a warmer, so I don't know. It feels like a little sliding.
Okay, so at that point, a slide comes from the fact that the tire itself is getting too hot on the surface and not getting the traction you want. So
Wear is good, right?
for what we've got, yes.
and what's left of the tire here before the ledge, that's perfect. So that the slip may be when you're in this zone here because that's peaked. So you may actually have too much lean with the gas and your contact patch goes from 4 inches to 1/8 of an inch.
And that's what that.
And that's, so change your lean angle deliberately to have less lean and go through it, and if it doesn't slip at all,
That's the issue.
your contact patch is here, and that's why it feels like it wants to drift a little bit on you, because we're going from 4 inches down to less than a half.
But it feels fantastic.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's fun to drive now.
Excellent. All right, enjoy the rest of the day.
Dave Moss can tune your suspension no matter where you are on the planet via his remote tuning service. Contact Dave on Facebook or by email, dave@davemosstuning.com.